Hi, welcome back to Mountain Gym Card Collectibles. I hope you had a great 4th of July weekend. I more or less took the week off from doing my YouTube shows. But hey, I can do that because I'm a non monetized channel. The subscribers aren't flowing in. YouTube typically isn't scratching my back to help me out. So it is what it is. So I have a non monetized channel. So hey, I enjoy the freedom to an extent. So anyway, today I want to talk about James Wood and his rookie cards of 2025. Because there's a few people wondering why his cards aren't blowing up more. And, I can understand why. For one, he plays for the Washington Nationals. I don't see a lot of fan support typically for the Washington Nationals team. Two, you know, he does a great job on the field for the most part. He's a good hitter. But he doesn't have a lot of hype, okay? And unfortunately, in the realm of sports cards, I always like to remind people you are playing in a popularity contest. Because let's face it, if you try and go by the numbers, go by the stats, whatever, more often than not, you're going to lose. Okay? So, anyway, let's get into it. Okay, so I found this post on X today. It comes from TP35, and this was just posted on July 4th, 2026, a few days ago. But let's see what they're driving at. I genuinely don't understand how James Wood doesn't have the hobby love already. This feels like it could be a $100 card in the coming months. Yes, I bought it. It says here, Topps 2024 Chrome Sapphire Update, James Wood, numbered USC 95 Nationals Green, out of 99, rookie card. Only $22.50. Okay, well, right there, that's not a Topps 2024 Chrome Sapphire. This is a Topps 2025 card, okay? You can just tell by the design. All right. So maybe because this individual mislabeled it, maybe they're not, getting a better price. That would be my first theory, but we're going to dig into some eBay sales charts to see if that's the true story here. Because, overall, this is a nice card. James Wood was one of the big chases for rookies last year, but that's the thing about these year-to-year rookie chases is so many of them just get swept into the rug and forgotten about for the most part. I don't dive into the yearly rookie card chases for baseball cards like I used to, because to me it just feels like a gimmick because of that fact. And the issue is always has to deal with popularity. I've said before, if these guys aren't coming in with a lot of hype, a lot of, popularity, more often than not, they play their games and their careers. Maybe they do a good job, they retire, and everyone just keeps living their lives like nothing ever happened. Okay? So let's see what some people are saying. Nats Plus is almost the MLB leader in strikeouts by 4. Ouch. And then he replies, Juan Soto and Bryce Harper were Nats. Judge strikes out a ton. Yeah, but what's he missing here? Well, they're missing the fact that James Wood is just not very popular. He's not carrying the same mantle as, say, Juan Soto or Bryce Harper. But, like my previous episode where I talked about Juan Soto, I'm trying to sell all my Juan Soto cards, all right? He had his chance, and I just think he's going to be another player that's eventually just kind of written off for the most part, unfortunately. That's just my take on Juan Soto. Now, Bryce Harper, I hope, is a different story. Bryce Harper has a lot of hype, okay? He's fairly popular, with the Phillies. So I don't know, if you want to compare, those two to James Wood, and then Judge strikes out a ton. Yeah, but Aaron Judge is really popular with the fans and card collectors. Dude, what are these comments on? It's one of the top rookies of an ultra high-end release. And don't give me the no one collects RC debuts. Look at J-Rod's comp for the same card. Yeah, well, once again, what are these guys missing here? That's J-Rod that you're talking about. He's really popular, you know. I just don't see people really talking much about James Wood. You know, the media doesn't really focus on James Wood. A lot of card collectors don't focus on James Wood. A lot of fans aren't focused on James Wood. So you're purchasing a card, you're crossing your fingers, you're asking yourself, why isn't this card working out? And I more or less just explained why it's not working out. You know, if you don't have the media hyping you up, if you don't have, the popularity contest on your side, and you have a card of that player, and hey, maybe that they are a great player, but still, it's not going to go the way you want it to. It's a debut, not a true rookie card. Now, that's what I don't understand, why some people don't believe that debut rookie cards are not rookie cards. They are rookie cards, okay? They have the rookie card emblem, whatever. They are rookie cards, So I don't believe that one stands up very well either. See right here, debut though. I mean, is that what it's turned into? Is these people don't like debut rookie cards? I mean, give me a break. That's not the issue. I mean, you can look at any other big players, rookie debut cards if they have them, they still sell for quite a bit, and people still look at them as rookie cards. And this reply, I think a lot of it comes down to hype. Wood goes about his business and just plays without any fanfare or ego. He's a quiet star who also plays for the Nationals, who don't get much hobby love. And I think he just really laid it out perfectly there, okay? He doesn't have much fanfare. He isn't on a big ego trip, He's a quiet star. So if you're expecting his card to blow up, like someone else's card, like Shohei Ohtani's card, I just don't see that happening with James Wood, unfortunately, I sold his true gold for $70. Regret the F out of it. No, I think you made a wise move. And I'm not sure if you had it slabbed up or not. If that was a raw card for 70, yeah, you did yourself a great service with James Wood. Because I'm telling you, within a few years, you're not going to hear much about James Wood at all. He's just another guy out there swinging at, the baseball, doing the job. He's basically a blue-collar worker on the field at this point, okay? He doesn't have a lot of popularity. So if you're one of these people who are investing a lot of money into James Wood and you're expecting that card to blow up, I don't really think it's really ever going to blow up. I don't mean to be the bad guy here, but, I've been doing sports cards for many, many years. And a lot of people go into these sports cards, delusional. And the reason why is because, well, we don't live in a perfect world. It's not a fair world. If things were perfect, if things were fair, yeah, cards like the James Wood rookie card would blow up. But that's not the world we live in. It says here, it's a $22.50 card. Yeah, And that's harsh to think about for a lot of people who are wanting to invest in these cards and hoping that they explode and they're going to retire off of them. But man, the delusions in the realm of sports cards are just out of control, And I've been there myself, I've been delusional on my own cards, on the players. And eventually you wake up one day and you're like, you're like, what was I thinking, And hopefully you do wake up and get the realization that, yes, this is a popularity contest. This is not a race. This is not an athletic horse race. This is a person comes into the league with a lot of fanfare, a lot of name recognition, a lot of popularity, and they leave the league typically in the same manner. Okay. And if you're someone like, Ken Griffey Jr., he never even won a World Series. He's just as big or popular than anyone. So that's the issue with sports cards is you can sit there and look at stats. You can sit there and look at World Series wins. You can sit there and look at this number and that number, but it just never seems to add up. And so many people pay the price for it, and they end up with a collection of cards that nobody cares about except for them. And they'll sit there and browbeat you. Yeah, but he's such a great player. Why aren't you buying his card? I mean, he's a better player than Aaron Judge. But he's not popular. He doesn't have the fanfare. He doesn't have the hype. I just think that a lot of these people in sports cards are always playing High Hopes by Frank Sinatra in the background. And you really need to sit and listen to that song about how foolishness will get you into high hopes. Because it is what it is. Wood and Acuna prices make no sense. Well, I don't know. I mean, I'm going to go over some of the eBay stuff for James Wood, and you can decide for yourself, but I think I pretty much laid out my case, Hey, if I was a prosecuting attorney, that was it right there. This is why James Wood is not a big name popular player in the MLB and why his card is being swept under the rug day in and day out for the most part. A lot of it has to do with your year-to-year rookie card gimmick chases, and people are wondering why his rookie card isn't shooting to the moon, A lot of it is people don't want to do their homework on sports cards and go, okay, what's hot and what's not? A lot of this has to go with, it's not a fair hobby to an extent because my guy, who's a great player, his cards are not blowing up. But hey, that's the nature of the beast. I've got a few Inception autos, including a really nice patch auto that I'm hoping bumps up in the future a bit. Couldn't quite sell it to my LCS for what they were offering. Haha. Well, once again, that's an LCS. LCS knows what's going on here too. He's been, or whoever owns the LCS, I'm sure, is doing their homework. And a lot of these people who are pushing, buy the James Woods cards. What's going on here? They're not doing their homework. Maybe he's a great athlete, but that's not the way sports cards work. Sports cards do not give respect to great athletes. They give respect to popular athletes, Once again, it's kind of like high school, I wish it wasn't, but if you were in high school, that's the way popularity contests work out, I mean, hey, you could have the best football player in the world. If he's not popular in high school, no one's going to his party. So, not to browbeat you anymore on this issue, but I just like to say it. This is a popularity contest. If you haven't figured that out yet, if you're trying to change the nature of the beast, you're not going to win. You're going to lose. Okay, so let's take a break from X, and we're going to go over rookie debut card sales on eBay, okay? Yeah, there's a lot of other sites where, this stuff is selling at these days, but this is about the easiest way to deal with this issue, okay? So right here, this is just his base rookie card debut. This is a lot of 5. Think about this. It sold for $6.29, raw cards. Here's a Topps Chrome update that sold for $250 on July 6, 2026. And these are recent sales. So there are people buying this stuff. Here's a sale, July 5th, 2026. X-Fractor, 1 penny. Here's a James Wood 2025 Topps update, Independence Day parallel. This is a Numbered out 76 rookie card. Nice card. $129.90. Okay, so there's something about that card that the buyer really liked. Probably the Independence Day. That's my take on it. Okay, so this was sold on July 5th, 2026. This is a nice card. I like the looks of this card. It's numbered out 150. It's a nice rookie card, PSA 9. $36. So if you're sitting there and you feel like you're King Kong on top of the Empire State Building, and you're grabbing at these planes, why aren't you buying my card? And they're buzzing you. That's why. And a lot of the stuff that I'm going over, these are rookie debut cards, I mean, yeah, a few of these aren't rookie debuts, but you see these prices, they're not on fire. And I don't think they're ever going to be on fire for James Wood. Okay, so now we're going to look at some of these autos, all right? So the Leaf, Vivid, $56. But hey, it's an auto. All right. And this is really an important price point because this is about the typical price you're going to see his autos going for, okay? 2025 Topps Chrome Sapphire, James Wood auto, 99 Green Sapphire, PSA 9, okay? $275. Nice card. Now, the one below it, which is numbered out 25, which is a PSA 10, sold for $3,051.03. I'm not sure what the story is there, if that's just a really die-hard fan. But, that was sold by DC Sports 87. I won't get into that, but I'm just saying my radar's up on that sale for a lot of reasons. And that's fairly recent. We don't know if the buyer's going to pay for it, but yeah, it went through. Okay. And then back to this price point, about $200, between $200 and $300, maybe $100. That's your typical James Wood auto, okay? This was sold on July 5th, 2026, 2025 Topps Finest James Wood. Ricky Patch auto, PSA 8, numbered out 99, $215.99. Yeah, that's about right. Here's a 2025 Topps Museum Collection, framed auto, numbered out 35, PSA 8, beautiful card for the most part, 250 bones. July 5th, 2026 sale, 2022 Topps Pro Debut, which I typically try and stay away from those cards, $141.99. So anyway, how are you feeling about James Wood? Do you believe he was just kind of a yearly gimmick rookie card chase? That's kind of the way I'm taking the James Wood chase at this point. Yeah, there's some people scratching their heads, why his card isn't selling for more than it is. But, that's just the nature of, sports cards, It's a popularity contest. And you have to keep driving that in your head that, logic just doesn't make sense in sports cards. It just doesn't, and it never will. Anyway, I'd like to thank my subscribers. Thank you for sticking around and watching my episodes. If you could give me a thumbs up, I'd really appreciate it. I'd like to thank my viewers as well. Thanks for watching my videos. If you could give me a subscription or just hit the subscription button, that would really help me out. Anyway, I hope you have a great day. I'm out of here.